Hi everyone, and welcome to Evening Star by the light of the silvery moon. I hope you're all having a good day. We're here for our level 24 episode of Dawn of the Duergar. One of my favourite public areas in the game, this. I just like the sort of rolling hills. I've never been a city person myself, so this kind of thing ticks a few boxes for me. Right, gear-wise we've only one upgrade to mention. As I mentioned previously, I do have a couple of kukris that I'm borrowing from my main character, the Thunderforged ones. So this upgraded one does slightly more damage, but also you've got the first degree burns down there, although it does look to be slightly muted. I think it says it can only go off once every 2 seconds and the stacks fade every 3 seconds. So I think we would have difficulty in stacking those to any significant amount, but 1 or 2% more damage is something, I guess. Um, Progress in general has been pretty good, but it has caused me to rethink my possible experiment with this mantle at the cap. I just don't think there's any chance this would be any use to us where we're going in Reaper 6 and above. That ticking heal, which is great in Elite and still pretty good in Reaper 1, is going to be nerfed down into uselessness while ever in a combat situation. So it's a shame, but it's just not a viable option. For leveling, though, I've found it to be pretty decent. I mean, I think you know me well enough to know that I'm not the type to want to drag a hireling around with me and mess about repositioning that and moan then about it not healing and all that kind of thing. So this is doing the healing for us, and it's doing okay. You just have to bear in mind in certain quests, for example, the spinner, if you're thinking there'll be a situation where she'll be all over you and you need to still run around on your own collecting those shards, elite seemed to me to be the best way to go there to get the full benefit from our heal. And as we've leveled up, we've got more melee power, and so that thing is healing more. You're looking at a good couple of hundred hit points per tick, which is lovely. That's on elite. The other one I did on Elite was the Belly of the Beast. I just didn't trust that acid area not to chew up more hit points than were being regenerated. In the end, he cruised through there pretty nicely, so I've been more than happy at that. Damage-wise and CC-wise, not complaining at all. Just have a quick look where these epic destinies are. As mentioned with the heroic enhancements, this is just for the leveling, just to get us to the cap. We'll have a complete respec and a sort of a show and tell on the gear and the objectives when we get there. So we've picked up some nice double strike in the Shadow Dancer tree. This also has the not inconsiderable benefit of making you immune to energy drain if you don't already have it. We kind of have it twice because we have it already in this tier of Vistani. Fury Tree, we're building our fort bypass is nice, we have plenty of that already, and we're building some extra helpless damage which suits our build now, although it only applies to the dragon roar. But with the build at the cap, it would apply at least to the stun as well. I've been kind of calculating because the plan is to split points between Shadow Fury and Dreadnought for the final build at the cap. And as dearly as I would like to afford the improved trip, I just am not sure we're going to be able to get there. So that might have to be one of the sacrifices we might have to make. As mentioned previously, when this new expansion drops and the level cap goes to 36, those extra 8 points to take us up to, I think, 80 points spendable in the trees. That's going to make a big difference in terms of the choices and possibly the ease of hitting that 80 double strike cap that I would like to. Well, the goal. It's not a cap, is it? It's the goal I've set. The problem we've got here is there are so many compelling choices. I think the way I worked it out, I could only spend a maximum of 5 points in this tier. 3 in there is a must for the heal. That's non-negotiable, which leaves just 2. 1 here would give us the full damage for the quick cutter, which isn't bad, increased to 3d6. 2 there would give the primal scream stat bonus, so basically an extra 1 attack damage, a bit more on the hit points and 1 on tactics. And 2 there would be 4 double strike, and then of course you've got 2 there for the improved trip, which also comes with the caveat that we need to spend 1 more in Dreadnought to get the corresponding feat that makes the improved trip cause helpless, without which it's probably not worth taking, I'm guessing. So yeah, decisions. I guess there are compromises all over. I'm still sticking to my original 80 double strike, 120 tactics or thereabouts. If we can get to something like those are the primary goals. Right. Shindelin in particular, Evening Star 2. I've been through all the 3 Evening Star chains now. The Evening Star 2 was quite a success, and one of the big reasons for that was this little pair of boots that I showed you earlier. There seems to be something not quite right with the math there, but I'm not complaining because it's in our favour. If you look here, open lock 66, put those things on, and we go to a monstrous 89, so it's giving 23 extra. Looking at the numbers there, I have no idea where that comes from, but I'll happily take it. And that was enough to first time open even the toughest of the locks that allow you to bypass significant amounts of the quests in there. So very pleased with them. Maybe if we find, I mean, it's a shame it's only on locks, because if it was on the other roguey skills as well, I might be able to use the legendary version of this if I could track it down for like just as a one swap fits all. As it is, I've got 3 swap-ins slated for doing the roguey stuff in legendary, but we'll hang on to these. We'll because I think that 87, even as things stand now, should be enough to do most of the locks in the game. So if I can source a legendary copy of these over time, it might actually be worth having. Other than that, I have updated our array of clickables slightly just to give us a longer expiration time. So the hood thing from Saltmarsh has gone out, and we've got a 15-minute Dusk Heart instead for the Death Ward. Nice for if you're in a party, because that's an AoE when it triggers, like this. And the other one we've upgraded, Sapphire Studded Buckles. There's a compelling case for saying wear these, because we don't have a deception on the gear at the moment, and the open lock is better than we currently have. Deadly is duplicated, but the Insightful PRR would be nice too. It's clashing with this little level 3 belt, but it's just giving us it's giving us that 5 profane melee power, which isn't bad, plus the Ram's Might boost to damage and strength, so I'm loath to remove it, but maybe I should. I just think the only source of sneak attack damage at the moment is the raw, although not insignificant. When things are made helpless anyway, we're having little or no trouble finishing them off, so we don't really need any more assistance in that department. That's why I'm keeping this for the moment. Right. In Epic, it's very, very rare I do anything on the Slayer side. It's just not my jam at all. I tend to do the what are they called? The things that contribute to the 5 Evening Star sagas. So I tend to do the Evening Star chain 1, 2, 3, Druids, High Road, Wayloon, Stormhorns. I tend to do all that and then either claim the 5 sagas if I'm not planning to do an epic TR while up there, or if I am planning to stack all the legendary sagas and do an extra epic life, then I'll save the sagas from Evening Star to contribute to that. So I figured we could pit our wits against the denizens of the forests for this one. Now this would be another problematic chain for many a caster. The plants and stuff in here, unless you've got Burst of Glacial, would be quite an issue, I think. But I don't see it being a problem for the Dragon's Roar.
You have reached Thorn Hollow, the Druid Hallsame's home. This idyllic woodland scene betrays nothing.
No, definitely not a problem for the Dragon's Roar. Okay. Got a Plague Reaper in there. Let's see if we can incorporate him into the... Nice. So if we just sort of delay a little bit, the Roar comes... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. The Roar comes off cooldown for the next challenge. Although this was rather unanticipated. We were able to CC both of them. That trip's working very nicely. Trip on a 77 now, and the Roar is on a flat 90. Wow. Provided I manage to keep the trance going. So anything with these big packs of things, I mean, goodness me, just devastating, isn't it?
This is far from nature in balance.
I guess the thing would be, even with the extra, like the stun things I plan to try and have at the cap, the stunning blow, nothing else would work on stuff like this, these plants and things, except for the Roar. So it would leave us a little bit vulnerable when the Roar was on cooldown. But tell me one character that wouldn't be vulnerable having the Roar and having that on cooldown. Just trying to wait for an opportunity to snag as many as I can. I still think that's going to cause me more problems than it solves in the future. Waiting around trying to have a nice angle for Roar is going to get me hit and into all sorts of trouble. Now we do have a DDO to just get the... If we can, just get the thing down and get out of here.
With the corruption node destroyed,
DDO added, of course, with the... Oh, get me out of here. With the second core of Shadow. Oh, hello. So you can see I'm not having to slow down. Well, against people who are absolutely zooming through, yes, this is pedestrian pace, but I'm not having to slow down too much to be able to have a Roar for the next significant group of creatures, so that's good. Every now and again the
This waterfall
raw
is
animation
pure,
just doesn't trigger, but the
untouched
effect does. You
water.
saw them stop there without an animation, so I don't quite know what happened there. I think it's when you're moving or doing something else other than just sitting there and doing the raw, it sometimes gets a bit too much for the game. Wow, Reaper just got destroyed in there, didn't it? I just got lucky and collected it in the middle of the raw. So again, same strategy we're going to try. Again, it would be far easier being arranged in here. Oh, my DDO is just on a little bit more of a cooldown. Ranged can just do all that from distance and not have to bother about the engaging the things at all. Just kill the node from distance, DDO out, and job's a winner. This is my all-time favourite pit to fall into. Favourite as in it's the one I fall into most often.
The tunnel opens into Halsem's own chambers. There is
Come on
a
then,
third
people.
corruption
Oh,
node
red
here,
alert, don't like
and a
that.
remarkably large
Let's use the
fire
Hood of
chamber.
Unrest.
But where is Halsem?
So let's try and keep in mind the cooldown on the Hood of Unrest. Get that Druid on the floor. And when the cooldown finishes, we go for the Uncanny. Oops.
The great bear
Nice.
falls. Perhaps in death, the last corruption node is the great dire bear and her druid companion have fallen. The source
Oh,
of
hello.
corruption destroyed. The silence that follows is broken by a faint.
Can't even open a chest in peace these days. Is there another chest under there? No? Okay.
Wait,
So broadly speaking,
come
our
here,
ticking heal, you
calls
saw
the
there,
druid from where
266
she
outside
lies
of
on the
combat
floor.
and in
Yes,
combat
dear
100
king.
odd.
You are
It
looking
kept us
for
up nicely.
Halsem,
I'm still
says the injured
ending the
druid.
quest with the 3
He is
second
not
wins that I
here.
had at the
He has
start, so
gone to Druid's
for
den.
the purposes of
With
leveling,
that,
I
the
think you can
last of
see
light
it's
passes from her
alright.
eyes.
As long
Her
as
words
you're
linger
reasonably
darkly.
dominant on the
Thorn
CC
Hollow
and damage
is
dealing side, you
cleansed.
can keep the
But while
incoming
Halsem lives,
to a
none of
manageable
these lands are
amount.
safe.
Oops, wrong key.
As you enter Uth Lodge, you are greeted only by silence and a strange smell. A smell like a weed-choked garden after a rain.
We might actually even get a little bit of AC from that, because we're not using a shield, we're in robes, from that shield spell. Not that that would make too much of a difference. If any noticeable difference.
Roots, vines, and woodland creatures in Uth Lodge. Some foul. There is some kind of wooden man beyond the root wall.
I always debate in this one, for those of you who know it, whether it's actually preferable to finish off the things in short order or
Defeating
not,
his fellow
because in doing so
defenders has
we've drawn
drawn
the big
only
thing out and made
He
it
has claimed his
tougher
fate.
for ourselves.
The wood-woad falls to the ground. He will not defend this strange wilderness any longer. A door slams shut ahead. Was that a human form?
Evasions should see us quite good against these wisps, I hope. Although there is some damage over time, isn't there, from the crowns, which obviously we can't do much about.
A lithe, gray-clad figure flees deeper into the house. Friend or foe, you will likely cross paths again.
We've got some crownies back there. Of course, we don't have the energy resist now from the
Something
Sentinel
rustles in the
tree.
deep foliage of the room.
So our acid is okay, it's not terrible.
Just be seen, standing deep within it. The rustling has stopped. The dense foliage now looks empty. If the wood-woad was in there, he has gone now.
I think broadly speaking, I'm happier
It's the
not to have to
man's
deal
rage
with
again.
the
Always one step ahead.
wood woads at the end of those encounters. Now, did we find a secret? Ah, we did.
The air in the cellar is chilled and damp. That smell, the smell of corrupt. Look sharp! To arms!
Let's let them gather around here. I think we could probably use a uncanny here. That's one thing I have been pleased with on my barbarian. I use it far too little, the uncanny. I suppose playing at the cap, I use it as my defense against dooms, sometimes paired with the dreadnought epic moment to try and make it so they have a real tough time hitting me when they pop up. Give me enough time to damage them down. I suppose here I have the luxury of being able to chuck it in whenever and know that I'm not going to regret being without it if something really nasty pops up, because there isn't usually too much nasty on these levels. Tree? No? Oh, the druid isn't dealt with yet.
The corruption
Happy days.
Uth Lodge has been cleansed. Perun Uth brought
Come
this
on,
foul
collect.
magic home with him from Thorngap unawares. And where is that, you ask? Where Hall Thame lives, deep within King's Forest. I think we should pay him a visit.
I'm pretty sure I'm doing this chain completely the wrong way around. It's the way I've always done it. The way I figure you collect the quests and you're right next to one of them, so why not go in there?
The head priest stands across the... Head priest Jaskier says, take that key on the table. I forget which wing it opens, I'm afraid. There's another one around here somewhere. I'm sure it will turn up. As the door to Hospital Wing swings open, moist air,
Okay, let's get
reminiscent
stuck
of
in.
rotting foliage wafts in.
I
A
think there's a
patient
little
lies sick with the strange infection.
door we can
Perhaps
unlock
you
here,
can do
isn't
something to
there?
help.
Oh, failure. Damage intelligence. What's going on here? I thought we had a half decent UMD. Did we fail them both? Is that a fail too? Yeah, it is. Oh, crikey. Okay, I'll leave this optional alone. And we do carry these little gloomy potions of resto to get rid of the ability damage. Let's try that one first. Well, that'll do. Okay. I'm not going to bother with that because that's just more of the same, so we're just going to have more fail.
A purple dragon.
But we can definitely use a hood of unrest here, can't we? Or rather, uncanny.
Transforms into a hulking monstrosity. This corpse contains some of the sample the head priest spoke of. Nearby, the key that fell from its hand lies on the floor.
I think I inadvertently triggered that little buggy thing there. I did the Flight of Kings and at the end of it a dragon's roar and there was no animation, and then the animation came later or something. What is our UMD? Oops. We've got 39. I guess it's not stellar in epic, is it? I think my target for that would have been to use, well, I suppose as it is for most any character, to be able to use the teleport and raise scrolls reliably. And I think we are already there, aren't we? So that's good.
Stronger and completely berserk. There is another sample on the patient's corpse.
Didn't exactly crush him, did we? But I think we'll take it. Oops. Where am I going? Where am I going?
With that, head priest Jaskier opens a door to the quarantine area.
Okay, we do have our uncanny, and we need to remember to keep out of the way of the wisps down the other end of the corridor if we can. Can we fight you here by any chance?
And as a result, he is far stronger.
I can send a dragon roar in to try and subdue some of the stuff behind.
A voice you've done it, Jaskier says. A shame, but the key thing is...
Yeah, the reflex save is at least enough to save us from most, if not all, of the standard wisp damage there. What do we have at the moment? We have 56 with the great heroism. It's far from amazing, but not terrible either. Okay. I think I was mentioning it was my reading around that encouraged me to set this 120 as the target for the tactics things. That's by no means no fail. Reading suggests 130 plus is close to no fail, and somebody posted that 140 was fine for for everything. I should hope it is. But again, you contrast that with I mean, I've mentioned before in the past, yes, I'm missing some Reaper bonuses on the gear and that kind of thing, the real end game stuff. But other than that, my Druid caster, I tried pretty hard on the gear, and he's still in the 1 teens for outside of Reaper for his main spells. So seeing these 130, 140 numbers banded about, that's without talking about the Arcane Trickster. It does feel a little bit galling.
You are near to Druid's Deep. The dying Druid's riddle was that you must be a
Can we
wolf,
get you guys into a
fish, and
civilized
bear
group,
to find
please?
the way.
There's always one latecomer, isn't there? Always. Of course we can't trip you. You did leave us a chest, so we'll... 2 chests even. I know plenty of people just skip past those. I suppose it's one of the plus points of not bothering with potions usually. You don't feel this sort of pressing urge to move on at every possible instant. And you can stop and do little things when your desire takes you. I think it's probably fair to say on the potion front, I only ever really make use of them when I'm doing the thing I mentioned earlier, the double epic life. So I stack up all the sagas, and then it does make sense then to use a potion to really take the full advantage of having done that. And you can go from, I think it's from 20 to 27, is it now? With the top potion, just using your claiming all the stacked sagas. I think a VIP might be able to get even more than that. Now then, sir, we have a raw with your name on it.
Without the primal magic of the Druid enforcing them, the roots blocking your way are now weak enough to break.
I want to see Olympic standard swimming here. What is our swim? With the strength, we should have a reasonable swim score. And we did put a few points in. Yeah, almost 50.
In the depths of the pool, a tunnel is just barely visible.
And we're in
Perhaps
robes, that
this
should
is
help.
what the riddle meant by be a fish. An air pocket is visible in the tunnel ceiling nearby.
And we can use this. I forgot about that. I almost crashed into a rock.
Light shines brightly from above. You have passed through the tunnels to somewhere else.
Oh, please. Thank you. Now, several together, please. Oh, didn't work. Oh, this is going to be a right pile of things, isn't it? What's the best thing to do here? Dungeon alert, that wasn't the best thing to do. Go as far as to say I made a complete balls of that, and now I'm not even sure which way I'm going. Is it over there? So we are going to disable these because there is a nice little bonus in it for us for so doing. Oh. We can just check and see how our trappy side is holding up. See if we get a low number, if we still succeed. In the past it's been 1 and 2 that have failed, but I haven't checked it recently. Of course, the one time I want to see a 1 or 2, it's not obliging. Ah, there we go. So we do still fail on a 1. But broadly speaking, it's been good. No complaints there. It's another element where the ranged certainly have an advantage over the poor melee, chasing those wisps around and looking like an idiot doing it against just shooting them down from distance. Can we knock this one over? Oh, we can, we can.
Stalwart has fallen. You are now free to pass.
I've been a victim here again of saving my dragon roar for the encounters rather
First get
than,
barred, and
as I should
now
do,
you.
in a quiet moment
I
like now,
don't know
using it to try and
where
recharge
this nobleman is.
a
He
charge of
can't have his staff back
might in
anyway.
order.
I've decided to keep it. But you have no place in my
Let's
forest.
start with
You
the
will
Hood
die
of
to
Unrest.
feed my flowers. No, my friends! He entrusted it to me, young Hunt Silver did. Told me to keep it safe. He called to me. So I opened the book.
We do have 3 charges of our second wind just in case this should be needed.
Given this staff such power. So many things whispered here, things one die, which you will, and the forest comes to will. You will be part of my new nature. So why should I preserve when I can create anew? Such power is mine. You have no idea how much power you stubborn. How?
Yeah, plenty of times when ramping up the difficulty I've come to a grisly fate in here. There's lots of elemental sort of ticking damage comes from those druids, and him when he's in animal form, as you probably already know, you can't harm him, you just have to harm the targets around him to make him human and vulnerable again. And yeah, he can really start taking chunks out of you then as well. But I think in the context of what we're trying to do here, that was fine. Broadly speaking, the ticking heals kept us up very nicely in all but the most continuous combat situations, like that one at the end that we faced there. I could probably have got away without using the second wind, but I erred on the side of caution. Let's see if we get anything nice in the chain reward. I think wishful thinking. Just pick one of these at random, I think. Right, so not too terrible. I think we've a decent strategy there to take us up towards 26, where we can have the option of the Primal Scream to heal. And I guess that would make the ticking thing pretty irrelevant, but we'll see about that when we get there. Perhaps, what would there be at 26? We've got the high road to do. Perhaps some of the Three Barrel Cove, although I have to say, I'm sure I'm not the only one to have got caught out by that. With a sort of a half and half build like this, I think our trap skills would be found seriously wanting in the epic 3 barrel, and also our evasion. I'm pretty sure those traps are quite high on the reflex saves, and they would cut us to pieces on a fail. So I think we'd be in for a rude awakening there. But remains to be seen. Right, I think that'll do it for this one. Thanks very much as always for looking, and I will speak to you next time. Take care.